Hi, my name is Alicia Gross, and I'm going to be doing an informative speech on the flu vaccine. Influenza is a serious illness and can lead to hospitalization and sometimes even death. Last year, there were 34% of children vaccinated, or adults vaccinated, and 55% of children vaccinated. For every 100,000, there was actually 42 people hospitalized for the flu. And for the state of Missouri, there was actually 37,000 people tested positive for the flu. And for Pettis County alone, there was over 100 reported cases of the flu. And I made this poster for my audience, and it just shows how many flu cases were for each county. I first became interested in learning about the flu vaccine by learning about how many cases were reported for Pettis County. And this began my research, and since then I have written numerous articles and statistics from the CDC and from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. So there are some key facts I'm going to go over, and also I'm going to teach you about how the strand is selected for each vaccine and also the effectiveness of the flu. So let's begin by going over some key facts. So let's begin by talking about some key facts. Since we started conducting census in 1976, there has ranged anywhere from 3,000 to 49,000 deaths annually. And this all can be prevented just by receiving the annual flu shot. And there are actually two different kinds of shots. There is the IM shot, or the intramuscular, which is through your muscle, and this is a dead version of the flu. And also there is a nasal spray, which is through your nose, and it is a weakened live virus of the flu. And the flu virus actually works by creating antibodies, and these antibodies are actually created through your immune system. And after 2 weeks of receiving this vaccine, it is usually you are protected by this strand of the flu. But first, you need to know if you're actually eligible to receive the flu vaccine. So first, you need to make sure you don't have any kind of egg allergies. You need to make sure that you are not already sick, or if you're running a fever, or if you're younger than 6 months of age, you should not be receiving the flu shot. So now we know some key facts about the vaccine, but let's start learning about the process of selecting the strand for the vaccine. The flu virus vaccine is selected by learning about which strands are circulating and how they circulate, and actually how well the last vaccine worked last season. And also there are 101 different countries that actually conduct these studies called surveillances, and with these surveillances they send this to the World Health Organization such as the CDC. And once they receive these recommendations, they begin making the process of creating the flu vaccine, and this takes up to 6 months. And actually the selection process for the flu vaccine is a very difficult and a timely process, but let's begin about talking about how effective the flu vaccine actually is. So there are usually two different kinds of studies that are conducted, like the randomized controlled trials, and there's also the observational trials. And for ages younger than 65, there has been some trials conducted, and there's been shown that there is a 50 to 70% effectiveness, and another study showed there was actually an 86% effectiveness in preventing the flu. And for ages 1 to 15, there's shown a 77% effectiveness against the H2N3, and also that's just influenza A, and also there is a 91% effectiveness against preventing the H1N1. And for ages 0 to 24 months, it has shown that there is about a 66% effectiveness against preventing the flu. And for older adults, which is kind of difficult to run these studies because of their chronic illness and their vulnerability of the elderly, there is shown one study that there is actually a 58% effectiveness against preventing the flu. So in conclusion, I mainly just went over just some key facts about the vaccine, and also about how the selection process for the vaccine is, and also how effective the flu vaccine actually is. So all in all, vaccination is good for you because it creates less days of being sick, and also less days of missing work, and also you are visiting your physician less, and you are and you're receiving less antibiotics, and you are receiving less over-the-counter medication. So this means you're having more days of creating more, saving money. You're actually saving money, and you'll be having days of feeling more healthier overall. And you can achieve this actually all by just getting the flu shot.